Welcome to Canasta Class Live Clinic. Hello my Canasta friends. In this live clinic we'll be discussing basics, tips, and strategies all about Canasta as we play on real Canasta. In this clinic we'll do a deep dive into picking the pack. Please put your questions in the chat and I'll be sure to answer them. Or if you have a suggestion on what topic you would like to see, or if you would have done something different during the play. If you're watching the replay, you can put it in the comments below. Let's get going and start with our topic. Picking the pack. I have 12 different things that I'd like to talk to you about this evening. So the first one is the requirements to pick the pack. In order to pick the pack, your team has had to have opened at the beginning of your turn and have a matching pair of natural cards in your hand that matches the top discard. The pair must be with no wilds. It must be 2 natural cards. You pick the top card and meld the 3 cards and then pick the entire discard pile and place it in your hand. You may either make additional melds or hold on to them to be ready to pick the pack again. To end your turn, you must have a valid discard. Remember, you're discarding on an empty tray, so you cannot discard an ace, a 7, or dead card. Dead cards are completed canastas. Alternately, you may also pick the pack on opening. Only if you have the required number of points for your opening. You may meld your cards since you will be getting the pack. You may meld all your cards since you will be getting the pack. As long as the top card matches one of the opening melds, you have an additional natural pair. You cannot use cards from the discard pile as part of your meld requirement. You cannot count them towards the points. Number 2, opening and picking the pack with aces. The discard pile has an ace on top. You are opening with 2 aces and a wild card or more, plus a clean triple, and enough cards to make 125 or 155 or 180. You are not allowed to pick the pack with aces on opening. The only way you can do that is if you're going to make pure aces. Number 3, the talon. If you pick the pack on opening, you do not get a talon. You are getting the pack to replenish the cards you've melded. You do not get both. No bonus cards are drawn if the initial meld is made at the same time that you're picking the pack. So those bonus cards are the talon. You do not get them if you pick the pack on opening. If your team has melded 5 or more cards matching the rank of the top discard, you cannot take from the discard pile to pick the pack, even if you have a matching pair. This would create a meld of more than 7 cards, which is not allowed. Nor can you pick the top discard for a special hand or special opener like splash. Nor can you make your clean triple with the top discard. And again, these are reasons why you cannot pick the pack. Why would you want to pick the pack? When you pick the pack, you gain many cards and potentially can complete canastas. It's fun to be the master of 7s and aces and get bonus points of 2,500 points. Ultimately, picking the pack can decide the winning game. When should you pick the pack? There are several things to keep in mind. First of all, you want to make sure there's a minimum of 8 cards if you're opening and picking the pack. Because remember, if there's less, if you don't pick the pack, you're going to get 4 or 3 cards. So you want to make sure there's more than that in the pack. How many canastas do you have? Is it necessary to pick the pack? Do you need to cover your 3s? How many do you have? Can you make 2 canastas by picking the pack? Are there a lot of dead cards in the pack? What is the pack? What's in the pack? Is the pack dirty, meaning toxic, meaning you will not make enough other canastas to make it worthwhile to take the risk of being stuck with sevens or aces in your hand? How many turns do you have remaining? Are you able to get rid of all the sevens and aces? How many sevens and aces are in the pack? Can you get a canasta of them? How many turns do you have remaining so you are safely discarding unwanted cards? Where is the other team at? Are they going to be going out shortly? How many points do you need to win the game? Are you close to 8,500 points? Even if you were to lose the game by not picking the pack, if you already have enough points, so make sure you check. Scoring is everything. You could pick and get a penalty and not win the game. Is the other team far behind? These are just some of the questions you should be asking yourself if you should pick the pack or not. Number 7, discarding after picking the pack. Remember, as I mentioned, after you pick the pack, to end your turn, you must have a valid discard. Remember, you are discarding on an empty tray, so you are unable to discard an ace, a 7, a dead card, which is a completed canasta. So make sure you make a plan. Please consider carefully which card you are going to discard and plan ahead before melding cards. If all you have left is a 7, ace, or wild card or dead card, you must pick up the last melded card until you have a legal discard, even if having to break up a canasta or having to return the picked pack. Unless melding all the cards and going out, the card is placed face down in the discard pile, so it can be anything. How do you play defense against your opponent so they don't pick the pack? You do not want to give the perfect gift of the discard pile. You should keep an eye on the course of the game and the discards your opponents will not find very useful. The best choice is a completed canasta is the card you should discard. If you run out of such cards, you might have to sacrifice a card you have already melded to protect the pack and hope you get it back when your partner picks the pack. It is also suggested to meld a card with the 5th position to prevent the other team from getting the pack. I have a video on safe discards you can check out on YouTube if you type in safe discards. Strategically, it is usually the wisest to discard a 4 through 7 rather than an 8 to ace against an opponent that has not yet melded. Number 9, after picking the pack, your number 1 job. After you pick the pack, it's time to get rid of any 7s and aces that you have that are exceeded by 2. You do not want a penalty of 1,500 points for having more than 2 in your hand of each. Do not pick the pack again until this is accomplished. Be choosy about picking the pack again. If you're going to pick the pack again, you know you're going to have to get rid of those 7s and aces. No point in picking the pack if you're not going to make a canasta by doing so. 10. Shifting the keeper of 7s and aces. Your partner or yourself pick the pack. That person becomes the keeper of 7s and aces as long as there's 2 7s and 2 aces in the pack. Be aware of where they all are. Be in control of them. Can you lay them down because you know your partner has 2 of them and together you have 7? Will your partner get the opportunity to add their 2 7s or aces? Will the other team go out? Remember, you get a penalty of 1,500 points in your hand is better than 2,500 points on the board. It's also a great reward. You will receive 2,500 points if you can make the canasta of 7s or aces. Finally, you know your partner has some aces and 7s. You'll want to discard yours so that you can keep track of them. Number 11, a strategy tip. There are 3 additional strategies that I want to share. First, it's best when melding cards from picking the pack. Do not put a wild card on 6 of a kind on the table to make a canasta until your partner has a chance to add the same card and make a pure canasta first. Much better to make 500 points instead of 300. However, I caution you to be mindful where the other team is. Don't miss the opportunity to get a canasta if you think your opponents are going to go out. The second strategy is hold on to pairs so that you can take the pack. The third strategy, when you are melding, try to keep your meld in third or fourth position and hold on to a pair to be able to pick the pack again. When you meld 5 cards, this will give your opponents a safe card to discard. Number 12, a bonus tip. When you open and take your talon, it may contain a 3. On your next turn, be sure to replace the 3 before you take your card for your turn. Your replacement card might match up to the card in your hand, and then it will give you a pair to be able to pick the pack. And therefore, that will become your turn rather than taking a card from the stockpile. Finally, remember when the final card of the stockpile is picked, the player must discard and it is face up in the stockpile. The opponent on the left gets one final chance to pick the pack. It's possible they could pick the pack with the pair in their hand. Be mindful of what you discard. There is lots to consider when picking the pack, and I am hopeful that all that we discussed here, the basics, tips, and strategies, will help you make a good decision when you are faced with picking the pack. So please give me a thumbs up for this topic if you've enjoyed it this evening and you picked up a tip, strategy, or just a reminder on the basics. There are many videos on how to play canasta on my YouTube channel, so be sure to head over there and type in the little magnifying glass any topic you're looking for. And if you don't come up with the topic, please reach out to me at mahjongclass@yahoo.com and I'll be sure to post a video about it to give you more information. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching these videos. Give thumbs ups when the videos you enjoy so I make sure that I can create some more. Share with your friends. Tell them about the Canasta Class YouTube channel and clinic. And thank you for always engaging during this time of the clinic and always putting comments in the chat and comments below. Thank you for showing up each week and taking some time to be a part of Canasta Class. We're going to head on over to Real Canasta and play some games. On Real Canasta, we're going to hit New Game. We're going to play fast. We're going to have our initial meld. After the initial meld, 5 cards, meaning we have to have 5 cards before we can add a wild. And then we're going to not have anybody join us because tonight's just about playing and learning. So we're going to go into invisible mode. So we're going to start our game. And please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them. Or if you have any comments on play tonight, please put them in the chat. Thank you for being here. So when we first start out, we want to put out our 3s if we have any 3s, and we want to pick a card for our turn. We're looking initially for a meld of 125 to open, and we're going to get rid of our low cards that will not help us to get to 125. We have to have a pure triple, which we don't yet. Our opponents opened with 6s and aces. We have our clean triple, but we don't have 125 yet. Our opponents put down 6s and aces. I'm actually going to break up this pair and put a 6 out because I believe my opponent does not have any more 6s in their hand, and this way they can't pick the pack. They just threw out a 10. I'm going to throw out a 6. We have to get some more wild cards in order to open. or at least another triple. I'm going to go ahead and put out the king. That was a chance I took, but they had pair king. So we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. We need another triple of sorts. Let's put out the 9. Having a tough time opening here. My partner is not helping. Oh, they keep throwing tiles. So what did I say? We have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. We're still short. I'm going to get rid of this ace. Well, we got a big joker now. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30. We have plenty of points. Let's go ahead and put this out. I'm actually going to put it with the 10s in hopes that, actually the 10s are, yeah, I'm going to keep 110 and put out the three eights. And I'm going to discard a 10. Actually, I don't want to, I wonder if I can switch this now. No, I don't want to discard the 10. I'm going to hold the 10 and hopes that I get another 10 so I have a pair. Let's get rid of the queen. Oh, bummer. We didn't even get a chance to play. Oh, well. So we got negative 355 points, and they got 2,440. We just never got the cards to be able to play, and it was a little too late. It looks like possibly my partner was looking to do pairs. They needed a 6 to get a pairs hand, and we just went out too late. So let's do the next round. We got to get to 8,500 points, and it's the first hand. Anybody can win. You know how these games go back and forth. Oh, perfect. My partner opened right away. I don't even have a pair. I mean, a wilds. Oh, nice. We have the 9s already. I can't take this 9 because we already have 5 9s, so I can't pick the pack. I am, though, going to close it and make a canasta. I can add my 1 jack and my 1 king, and I'm going to get rid of the 6. The 4. I can add my wild to the jack, and I probably will do so next round. I just want to see if my partner has any wilds. Doesn't look it. I'd like to get another jack, and then I'll add it. No 10s. There you go. I can put the jack down and the wilds and close it. And I'm going to discard the queen. Maybe they'll throw an 8 or a 5. Oh, my partner picked the pack. That's lovely. I don't have anything to add on to that. I'm going to give the ace. I'm going to take the pack. I'm going to put out my 5s. And I'm going to put out my 6. And I'm going to go ahead and close it with my joker. And discard a 9. Oh, sorry, didn't see my queen. Oh, that's a dead card, can't do that. So I have to get rid of the 8. Put out my 5, get rid of the 9. That's 1 7. You have to keep track of the 7s. Oh no. That's big money there. Yep, they got it. Wow, they got 2,500 points at a minimum. Close the queens. And I'm going to put out the 8. They got 2,000 for that. I guess it was a mixed wilds. And we got 25, 25. That was a good score. Sort your cards. When it comes to your turn, you have to put out your 3s and take a new card. Pick a card for your turn. Put out your 3 if it's a 3. And we could maybe go for pairs. Let's start getting rid of the low cards though. We are at only 125. My partner opens. We are no longer able to go for pairs. I'm going to maintain pairs in my hand if I can and help my partner out. I didn't put out my aces because I'm hoping to pick the pack. Maybe my opponent will discard an ace. Looking to maintain pairs. The opposing team has to get 155. Oh good, my partner picked it. I don't have a 6, but I do have 5s to add. And I'm going to get rid of my 4. I'm going to go ahead and close the 6s and add my 10s now. We have 2 canastas, so we're trying to get out of this game for the other team opens. I don't want to hold 3 7s. I think there's, this is the first 7 in this pack. Now they just put the ace in, so now I'm going to put my other 2 aces out. Queens are dead. I can discard a queen. We got 1,595. They got 1,855. They're at 180. Sort your cards by rank. Put out your 3s if you had any. Pick your card. And then discard. We're at 155, so we're probably going to get rid of all these, I call them baby cards, 4, 5, 6. We have our clean triple of 9s. We are not nearly close to 155. We have a long way to go. We can get rid of the 8. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 35. I think we have to start getting rid of these sixes. We're not going to get to 155. We only have 135. Tens, aces, and queens, so we can get rid of the queen. You can always move the cards over to the right so that you know which cards are safe to get rid of. Jacks and aces and eights. Well, we can close the aces. No jacks here. That's the first 7. Oh, I did pick up 1 jack. Let's close the aces. And he put down tens, queens. I'm going to discard a queen. I can close the jacks. And I'm going to get rid of a 10. He just put out kings, so that's safe for me to discard. I'm going to put out my 9s. And I'm going to get rid of the king. Jack is safe. That's 2 7s. 9. I'm going to discard a 6. Wow, look at all their 3s they have. Yikes. Get rid of a 7. I don't want to have more than 2 7s. End game. So the other team reached 8,500 points. So this game is over. We will continue with another full game. We just didn't get the cards this hand. The first hand, we already had started out with negative points, and we just never got the high value cards. They got 1,000 points in red 3s and 500 in black 3s. That's huge. They actually did not have that much points in canastas. We were almost, I guess we were 1 canasta short. But they clearly won based on the fact that they had so many 3s. Let's play a full game. We'll start from the beginning. Sort your cards, put out your 3s, and pick a card for your turn. We are looking, we're at the beginning of the game. We're trying to get 125. We can maybe go for a pairs hand. So we'll try to make pairs for the most, but at any rate, we have our clean triple. We just don't have the point values. Kings and jacks. We'll get rid of the jack next. That's the first 7. Let's get rid of the jack. So we have 60, 70, 80, 90. Second 7. Let's get rid of these kings. $80, $90, $110, $20, $30. I'm going to let it go one more time and see if I'm able to pick the pack with these 6s. And that would be picking the pack and opening. Oh, they got it. Bummer. It's okay. We're going to pick a card. And I did get a pair of 8s. So let's go ahead and open. And let's open with those queens. And I'm going to discard a 10. Oh, we did pull a queen. That's nice. So now remember the 7s are all over to my right here. She has a bunch of 7s. So I'm going to go ahead and put the queen out and the 9 and get rid of the jack. We can't add a joker until we have 5 pure cards. There's 1 5. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the 6s. The jacks are here. Let's go ahead and get rid of the jack. Kings are dead. Picked a 10. 10s are dead. Oh, this is a bummer. We're not going to be able to even get a canasta. A 6. He has 6s. Next round. So we are negative because we never got 1 canasta, so everything's negative. The cards on the table, the cards in our hand, and the 3s are all negative. The other team has 1,885. They got the value of their canastas plus the count of the cards in the canasta, the plus of the table on the cards, and the plus of their 3s. The cards in their hands are deducted. They are at 125, and so are we. We are negative points. Sort your cards by rank, put out your 3s, get a replacement card, and pick a card for your turn. Put your 3 out again. And let's get rid of the 6. We have 3 of a kind. We have 4s and 5s. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40. We have plenty of points. Let's get rid of the king. Let's see if we can get a 4 or 5, and maybe we can pick the pack. There's a 4. Let's take the pack. It's more than 8 cards. It's perfect. So we're going to put out our 4s. And our 5s, and then we're going to add our joker with our 10s. Let's add the wild. Actually, let's move this wild to the 4s. I don't think there's enough 4s in there. Get the pack. And there's our 4. We got our first canasta. Let's put out our 5 and our 10 to make it 4 and discard the 9. A 10. Let's pick a card. Oh, we got a 10. I'm going to hold that a second. They put out kings, 8s, and jacks. A 10 was discarded. I'm going to discard the 10. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm hoping my partner picks the pack. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to happen. Aces, nobody has them out yet. I'm going to hold that. I can do an 8, king, or a 6. I'm going to go ahead and put out the 6s. Just put out queens. put out the queen. It's one ace, two aces. Perfect, nice. I don't have to worry too much. He only has one card. I'm gonna put out the jacks. So round two, they had 1,645. We have 1,705. We are at 125, and they are at 155. Okay, we're gonna pick a card. My partner opened, put out my 3. We have a 6. I'm gonna go ahead and add my 1, 5. I'm gonna hold out on the 4 because that's not gonna get us to a canasta. And I'm gonna discard that 6. That's 1, 7. 2 7s, excuse me. Gonna discard an ace. That's 2 7s, 1 ace. I'm going to add my 4 now to close it. I'm gonna add my 9, and I'm gonna get rid of the 10. I'm going to go ahead and close the 9s. And I'm going to get rid of my king. Add my 5 and get rid of my jack. Add my 5 for another canasta and discard the jack. This will be a good hand if they can't open. They have a lot of 3s, they're going to get negative points. I'm going to put out my 8s, and I'm going to discard the ace. I can go out. I'm going to ask my partner to go out. I'm going to put out my 3 queens and discard my ace. That was a nice hand for us. They got negative points because they never got a canasta, and we got 1,700, and we are at a pretty good game here. It's pretty even Stevens. On to the next round. Sort by suit and pick a card. If you had any 3s, put them out. And we're gonna get rid of the 5. We're at 125, and so are they. We're both under 3,000. $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100, $10, $25. We have perfect points there. First 7. I'm gonna let it go around, and maybe we can pick the pack. I'm going to open next round because now they're opening. And we can open and pick the pack. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's do 100. We need 25 more points, so let's do it this way. And let's put out 3 4s and keep a pair. I'm gonna put out my 10 and all my jacks and my kings. I don't see them throwing jacks or kings. And let's get rid of the 5. Nice, we had pure of kings. Ooh, our 4s we can close. And our 8s if my partner... Okay, let's close our 4s for pure. We can add our 6 and add our 8 and get rid of one of the 9s. They have 9s in 5th position. We can close the 8s and get rid of the 9. I lost count how many aces and 7s. Doesn't matter, my partner's going out. So we happened to do very well that game. We did 2,340 and they only got 420. So we're in the lead and now we're at 155 and they are at 125. Put your 3s out. And then pick a card for your turn and discard a low card. We're at 155, so it's going to take us a little bit. Maybe we can work towards a special hand, maybe a zip code, which is 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 3 of a kind, pair, pair. We can even try for pairs. That'd be getting up our 9s. So we have 3, 3, 2, 2. We need 4 of a kind. There's our 4 of a kind, and now we need just a 3 of a kind. So either jack, a 7, or an 8. And we got another 9. I'm going to give that up. And another 9. Okay, they're opening. Jack, queen, ace. One, 7. King. We don't need. This is probably not good. They're probably going to pick it, but maybe we can get a special hand next rotation. And then they'll get stuck with all those 7s and get a penalty. So let's see what happens. Yikes. Oh, they had all the wild cards. Yikes, that just messed us up here. Okay, let's get rid of the jacks. Unless we get another wild card. I had no other hand to go for. We didn't have any wilds. Nothing. Yikes, that just flipped the game around. Now they're ahead, 6,305. They're at 180 and we're at 155. We got all negative points. I didn't have any wild cards. Oh, my partner had a lot of wilds. I wonder what happened there. They didn't have a pure. That's what they were waiting for. It's a bummer. Put out your threes. Take a card for your turn. And we're at 155. They are at 180. We have a bit of a ways to go. A bunch of pairs, which looks nice. In order to get pairs hand, we need to have a pair of jokers and a pair of sevens with aces. There's our three pure. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 105. We need more. Let's get rid of, I'm going to have to get rid of one of these sixes. It's not going to help us get to 155. We have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. That's 110, 20, 30, 40. If we have a jack or a 10, we can open. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and open. Not going to mess around and wait. Hopefully my partner will be able to pick the pack. Got too many sevens here. Oh, not good. We both open with aces and jacks. Oh boy. Maybe we can get the king. Next hand. Oh, nice. I'm going to pass. We already have our thing and I want to pick that pack. I think it's pretty dirty. Okay, let's see what we're going to give them. Maybe a king. We're still in it. Doesn't look too bad. Keep moving on. We're at 155 and they're at 180. Maybe we can open first. Not with these cards. Put your threes out, pick a new card. Oh, it's looking a little better. So we have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. Yikes. king. Gonna try it. A 4, they have 4s out. I'm gonna put it out there. 10's a dead card. Maybe we can get Jack is a new card. They threw out an 8. I don't want to throw out an 8. Let's do a 7. Now I could throw the Jack. You just threw a Jack. So maybe we can get 3, 3, 3. Yuck. 6. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 35. I don't have enough. Okay, let's see. We have, should be enough here. 8s, queen, oh, you know what, maybe move it onto the queens. And I don't get the Talon, so I have 2 cards to stay in the game. It was hopeful, just didn't work out. Bummer. They didn't get a turn. So everything was negative. All of my cards, I was hoping they would be able to pick the pack, but it didn't work out that way. And when she had the queens, I just didn't get down early enough. Bummer, bummer. But anyway, they won the game with 8,700 points, and we had 4,350. So thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed what I had to offer tonight about picking the pack. We will discuss next week possibly special hands and how to look for them. If you have a topic that you would like me to talk about, please post it in the comments below, or better yet, email me at mahjongclass@yahoo.com. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up for tonight's clinic. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you get notifications when I post new videos or when I go live. And if you're interested in Mahjong, tune in tomorrow night on my Mahjong Class YouTube channel, and we will also have a live clinic there. It's run similar, except it will be all about Mahjong. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.